So, Wet Dream. Wet Dream is a V12 located in Black Velvet Canyon in Red Rocks, Nevada. It's probably one of America's most iconic, famous hard boulders, up there with the Shield and Midnight Lightning. It's part of the Black Velvet trifecta, which is these three V12s, all in very close proximity to one another that are just super high quality. So those are Abaddon, which I had a fun experience on myself, my flash burn. I got to the jug, did all the hard climbing, and then after the jug it's like maybe a V3 to the top, and I hadn't really planned to get there because I didn't expect to flash. I wasn't in good shape that season, and I just like hung on the jug as long as I could basically and fell off, and then I got the screaming barfies and I threw up, and then I couldn't do it that day, and I came back like later that season I think and finished it. Probably not a top 100, just kind of choss up top. There's a death pit, but it's really fantastic. I think I have some footage of that maybe I'll splice in here, I'm not sure.
I sent you the sun from my hometown and Chicago and Atlanta, sinking at the sight of your shadow on the sidewalk in Spain or back in upstate. Was it Jersey at the airport to Alaska, sinking on a call from your home?
Wow, this landing really got filled in.
Where they found
It's like not as death anymore.
tearing through, flying through the blue on your own drive. Got some old files, gotta find 'em, gotta get 'em out, gotta get out.
Atlas Shrugged. I should also mention that that one's an 11 or 12, depending on who you ask. I took the 11. Atlas Shrugged for me was a lot harder, despite it being maybe more my style. It's just a very straightforward compression boulder. There's a stand start to it that's a V9 called Fountainhead that a lot of people really enjoy. Tricky, scary mantle up top. We have to trust a bad foot. This one is on the top 100 list. I think that Atlas Shrugged is better than Fountainhead. It's like the sit start, it's an obvious start. It's the full line. Some people think otherwise. That one took me like 2 or 3 days, I think. And that was a couple years ago. And so then last year, when I went to Red Rocks around this time in I think February for a couple weeks, I was like, okay, like it's finally time to try Wet Dream. And I kind of just avoided trying it altogether in the past because it's a really long problem and I'm not traditionally, I don't have great endurance. I tend to punt and get really pumped. And so I'd always shied away from it, but I was like, I gotta do the big three. I gotta do Wet Dream. And I committed myself to trying it. And it went really well. My first day was not good actually. I could do the low moves pretty easily, but I could not do the ending sequence like at all. I don't think I even did it that session. And so I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I can do this thing. But I was convinced that I would try it a second day, and I was going there to support my buddy Sean on squoze. And my second day, I figured out the top right off the bat, did a slightly different method than most people, and then, yeah, you'll see. I mean, I did the boulder. It didn't go down super easy, but I did it on my second day, which I was really proud of. And I'll show you the holds and everything. When you approach it, there's 2 ways to approach it, and they're both very special. One is straight up the wash, and you're just walking up the wash, and all of a sudden, boom, you're right under it. It's facing you and everything. The other was the way that I went my very first time, and I thought it was more special, but a bit more a pain in the ass. So if you're going for your first time, and you go to Atlas Shrugged first, then you like walk through these trees, and it's kind of hard with pads on, but you're like ducking under branches and you pop out and you're standing like right under the huge roof, and it's pretty miraculous. So that said, the holds have gotten really polished because it's one of the most popular boulders in Red Rock and one of the most popular boulders in the world, I would argue. And that's one of the things it has going against it. So I thought about discussing all the different beta options, but there's like 1,000 because there's so many holds. So I don't think I'll actually go into that too much. Ethan Pringle put this boulder up when he was like 16 years old, pretty legendary. I found this old photo of it on Pete Lowe's Instagram from way back, and it's just kind of crazy seeing how much the rock has changed and how polished it's gotten. It would have been like really something special to have climbed on it back when Ethan climbed on it. This is one of the most contentious boulders on the list because it's contrived. Like, there's Wet Dream right, which starts in the exact same spot and goes right, and it's easier, same finish, it's a V11. So therefore, to climb Wet Dream, you're choosing a harder route, you're choosing a harder way to get to the top of the boulder than you have to. I also think that it's pretty inobvious where the start holds actually are. There's just a lot of features down there, a lot of cracks, and it looks like it could start in a multitude of places. And there's a left entrance called Nocturnal Emissions, which starts on this big, proud shield feature. And I would argue that that is a more obvious start and maybe the better line. I tried that one once after doing Wet Dream, and I felt pretty high. I slipped out of the finger crack and then didn't get a chance to try it again, but that one's pretty damn good. And now there's even a lower start into that once some rocks got moved for the Sleepwalker sit, and so it's contrived. That said, it's a really perfect height, the landing is flat, and it's just one of the most stunning mega walls in the world. The holds are super cool, the movement's very unique, the rock is great. I don't think anything will be breaking anytime soon. First left hand's a big flat edge, and you kind of do this like little sequence on some pretty good holds, some good edges, and get into this undercling jug. It's quite good. There's a thumb catch. Then you build the feet and go to this like really, really polished Gaston, and you sink your thumb deep in that hold. And the beta changes a lot for everyone. I'll just talk about my beta, which is the most traditional beta. You Gaston this little edge, and it's really in the shoulder.
Very good.
And then you like stand on the feet and float out to this amazing rail.
Go on, Eric. Very strong.
Feature, it's like maybe a pad and like slightly in cut on the end. It's like rounded in cut. And then you do the flop move to the rail.
Come on, Eric. Yes, dude, come on.
Get the finger lock, which is really finicky.
All right, dude, let's go.
Different people have to use different combinations of fingers and like tape and everything.
Come on, Eric. Tight, tight, tight. Ah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh.
Where did that happen? That's not supposed to happen. Just like popped out.
Skadoosh.
Maybe I need thicker tape
Oh.
or something. That's crushing.
Good first burn.
Yeah. And then you pull up to the next rail, match it, next rail, and again, the beta varies a lot depending on who you are.
stay, dude. Come on, Eric.
You got it. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on.
You can do it, dude. Come on, Eric.
You got it. You got it. Come on.
No!
Oh.
You're kidding. No. No.
Oh no.
No.
And my lonely nights girl on the outside looking in, dreaming of holding you tight. Well, I guess I've had my day. You let me go my way. It's me who has to pay. The loser they call me.
Come on, Eric.
I was born to lose.
Come on. Come on, Eric. You know everything on this move. Come on, Eric. Come on, dude. Come on, Eric. Come on. Stand it up.
Yes!
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
limit, dude.
Sick.
That was close.
Fuck yeah.
Yes!
Nice, dude.
Fucking come on.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Barely,
Dude,
dude.
you're battling on that underclick. That was sick.
Let's go.
Good fight.
Thank you.
That was super cool. Hell yeah.
Yes. 2 days. Not bad.
Fuck yeah. Conquer the anti-style.
Yeah. Psyched.
Way to go.
Thank you. Oh, yes. That felt great.
Looks great.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope that that was helpful for anyone looking to go climb Wet Dream. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. I didn't have footage of my send on Atlas Shrugged, sadly, but I do have some footage of the holds that I will I'll put in here. Thanks. Alrighty, Black Velvet Canyon, Atlas Shrugged. I sadly don't have footage of the send. Here's the start. It's V12 in Black Velvet Canyon. It's really beautiful. As you can see, it's getting quite polished though, and that's the biggest thing that this boulder problem has going against it. It just gets jam-packed and not brushed enough. This is the first left hand. It's gotten really slippery. It's not a great hold, just kind of flat wall. Maybe, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've done it. Maybe that's the first hold. They're both really slippery and kind of icky at this point. But yeah, really buttery, delicious grips. Nice pinch here on the corner. I wish when I had filmed this a year ago, I'd been more sequential with it, or talked about it as I went. This is like this huge hold. You like go left hand to start, and then you heel hook and smack all the way to this thing. And it's just disgusting at this point because everyone uses it as a foot for Fountainhead, which is the stand start. Excellent V9. Yeah, striking line, pretty good landing. It's a little bit rocky. Spooky top out. You have to rock over a really smeary foot. But yeah, awesome grips. And let's see what else. The rock's great. I don't think anything's breaking anytime